Sitting here with Coach Cedric Yelding, head women's basketball coach here at Coastal South. Thank you for sitting down and talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I just want to go back to where you started, how you got to where you are now.
I've coached at every level. I started out at Fair Oak Middle School back in 1998. I was there for 3 years. Moved on to Robbinsdale High School in 2000 to 2002. Then I went to Daphne High School 2002 to 2020. I've always wanted to be a college coach. I came up here my first year to volunteer. I was assistant with boys and girls. That was 2022. My second year here, predominantly an all-girls assistant coach. My coach had been here 27 years. I think I found my replacement.
So going back to your earlier years, coach boys first.
And that's funny that you ask. And I've never coached girls. But you never know what route God wants you to go in. This was my first time coaching girls at the, junior college level. It's been challenging, especially early. I understand female athletes are a little different than guy athletes. So learning experience each and every day.
What are some of those challenges that you face dealing with male athletes and female athletes?
The mental part of a girl come in and she's not having a good day. That's pretty much the day. You don't treat them any different. You still challenge. On the other hand, girls going to try to do exactly what you ask them to do. I don't feel like girls play a lot of street ball outside of basketball. So what they learn inside this gym or what they train to do, they're going to try to implement that each and every time.
I want to go back and touch on a point that you had to volunteer. So you went from being a head coach, majority of your coaching career, and then you had to take 2 steps back to volunteer to get to where you are now. A lot of people may not have taken that role. A lot of people may not have been okay with tucking their pride to get to where you wanted to get to, but you had to do that. How was that experience to go from being a head coach to volunteer?
I've always been raised with the sense of nothing's too small for you to do. Your heart is in it, and that's what you desire. I told my wife, well, I'm going to take a pay cut to go up here and volunteer, but that's what my heart is leading me. Funny thing is, I won't say numbers, but I took a pay cut to come up here by losing my coaching stipend and end up getting paid almost twice what I was making at the high school level. And I attribute that to just stepping out on faith.
You talk about how you was raised. I know your dad was a coach growing up. He was also the first Black mayor of Daphne, which is a huge accomplishment in itself. Who are some of your influencers and people that helped you get to where you are today?
Both of my parents were educators. They both worked in the school system. Day one, discipline and doing things right was adamant in our home. And so that's how I was raised. My dad coaching for over 40 years before he got into politics. I was on his coattail everywhere he went. 1970, he went to Fair Oak High School. That was the first year they integrated schools. So sports been a part of my life, all of my life. And I've just watched him, how he dealt with so many different kids and the attitudes and the parents and everything. So I've just been paying attention all my life.
So I know you played basketball too growing up. Your dad coached you. You were Hall of Fame South Alabama, right, for basketball, which is a big honor. How has he helped you and mold you as a basketball player that turned into the basketball coach?
Loyal to what you're doing, and there's no substitute for hard work. That's just what I do. I just work hard. When I played hard. I want to outwork everybody that stood in front of me. Same goes for coaching. I want to outcoach everybody that's beside me. And some nights that don't happen, but that's my mindset. That's what I've always known. It's just to go work. That's what he showed me. And it's funny because he did so much in his life, work-wise, always a big-time provider. But I saw him work multiple jobs and be happy and take care of his family. And that's just the mode I wanted to be in. It was easy to follow because I saw it all my life.
For high school coaches that may aspire to become a college coach one day, can you talk about some of the differences between high school and college steps that they may need to take to become a college coach?
Back when I came through, if you was a good high school player and college player, at the time you went straight into grad assistant. And I had the opportunity to go into grad assistant. You can't look back and say what you should have done, but I also had aspirations of playing, professional basketball. So I was chasing that dream. So that used to be the route. Once you finished, your coach, really liked you a lot and wanted you in his program, and you went on to be grad assistant. But now in today's society, you have to really work to get attention. And first of all, it's on who you know. So all head coaches going to take care of their people first. But them other positions, they're going to be guys that have shown that, they have great discipline in their program. They work hard, and they're going to come work my camp in the summer, every summer, not looking for anything but the experience. Work my camps, work my elite camps, do anything I can, to assist my program. So it's about loyalty. So it's who you know, and then the next step is going to be loyalty. You have to get around somebody that you feel comfortable with, and you feel like they're doing a great job, and they on their up and up and treating people right. Those kind of people you want to be around and see what you can learn from them. Sit down when a lot of people be nervous to sit down with college coach or a high school coach. But one thing my dad taught me is if you talk to everybody, you learn from everybody because I don't know everything. I know a lot about basketball, but I'm constantly every night I'm watching TV, watching games, and I'm rewinding and I'm writing down. But I would just say get around somebody that you respect that's doing a great job and that's gonna treat people right.
How would you describe your first years here at Coast?
My first 2 years I was assistant. This is my fourth year being the head coach. Ultimately, it's been good, even though we done had some bumps in the road on the way. My first year was a great year. We went 17-9. We won Coach of the Year in the conference. Off to a great start, college head coaching job. Into my second year, we had a great recruiting class. We sitting at 9-3, and we had an altercation in the cafeteria that derailed our program that year. 9-18, didn't win another game, lost the entire team. At this level, you never want to have to reset. Into our third year, we brought in a whole new team. I'm learning at this level, you better have a balance every year. You know, we have 15 scholarships, so anywhere between 7 and 8 each year. You need to have 7 coming in, 8 leaving. Third year, which was last year, we brought in 12 girls. It's always tough to mesh kids anyway. Fast forward to this year, we brought back 6 sophomore. We brought in 2 transfers that give us 8. We brought in 7 freshmen. We're off to a pretty good start to this year. We're 4-1 at this point. Our last game didn't go that well, but we're going to have a strong season.
I know you talked about the turnaround. What are some of the pros and cons of working at a JUCO? How does that work? This new day and age of college, people are leaving and going constantly. Of trying to build in a program, but you're constantly having turnover.
Junior college really is a stepping stone to get to the next level. It's funny that you asked that because we lost our freshman point guard last year to a 4-year school. Man, you don't want to lose her, but self-reflect. You know, you want kids to be able to move on and not have to spend 2 years here if they don't have to. Have to spend 2 years here. We hope to get them in and get them polished and get them on to the next level. Tough because you're constantly having to mesh different mentalities, different attitudes, different walks of life, having to mesh those kids in a matter of months. But we pride ourselves on making sure they graduate. And we've graduated 14 out of 15 girls since we've been here. That's the first box we check. You know, we make them go to summer school the summer before they get here. We coach them set up, pay for their education before they even step on our campus. There's a lot of schools out there. And now with the transfer portal and so much going on at the Division I schools, there's a lot of opportunities at other levels. Kids just got to come in and be locked into doing their school work, working hard, and you know, they can move on.
Speaking of opportunity, one thing I admired, I'm sure other JUCOs do it, but in the preseason, you let your girls play against these 4-year schools. But I think that was real big and maybe something the girls don't understand. But you just putting them in front of 4-year schools is a big opportunity.
Niece Adjison, she was a Davidson High School graduate. She moved on to Spring Hill College, can be the face of that program, a local kid. And Spring Hill's a big time academic school, and we pride ourselves on that. And she was a 4.0 student. We played University of Mobile and Spring Hill again, and University of Mobile like one of our girls. Not only an opportunity for them to see our girls, but an opportunity for our girls to play against the juniors and seniors.
This is my second year here, which I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm glad you brought me back for year 2. When did the decision come that you needed a strength and conditioning coach? And how has Blueprint been able to help you?
You may not be getting the 5 stars right now, not getting the 5 stars, and you don't have a strength and conditioning program, you'll never get to the level you're trying to get to. It's just been amazing. It's a big difference when you have a true professional strength and conditioning coach. Our injury have been cut in half, if any. First couple of years, you know, we was banged up. And ever since we've been doing strength and conditioning program, it's eliminated that. Not only that, girls are just physically and mentally stronger.
Yeah, year 2 for me, I noticed a huge difference. I've grown a lot. 'Cause after that first year, I took it a little personal. Me felt like it was my fault. And I know we've talked plenty of times and you told me no, it wasn't. Soon after year 1, I put together a program. And I was just waiting on that call, that text to say, you coming back for year 2. And once I got it, it just made my day, made my year. Being able to work with these college girls, getting up early, putting a program together. One girl that may need to alter her workout. You may have a girl that's coming off of summer, a little nick or a little small injury that you got to transform the program. Year 1, it was just me. Year 2, I said, I'm going to bring my other trainers along just from being here. And I'm going to continue to grow and continue to develop. One thing I really like is that we talk. I work with some coaches and some teams that they don't communicate. So I don't know. So I feel like that's one big asset that we have. The fact that you can pick up and call and say, this is what you want. You helped me grow, whether it's constructive criticism or not. I like how you're direct and you're going to tell me what you want, and then we're going to get it done. So I appreciate you for this opportunity. For recruits who may think about coming to Coastal, what do you want them to know about you, your program, what they're going to get?
We're authentic. First of all, I'm a big time believer. It's definitely in my recruiting process. I want the parents to know that their kids going to step on to a campus, going to take care of them. They're going to be supervised. They're going to get their education. They're going to improve as basketball players. They're going to improve as individuals. They're going to get the best strength and conditioning program, in the nation. You did a great job that first year. It wasn't about you not doing a great job. I just felt like we could push them harder because it was a learning experience to me too. My first strength and conditioning program with females, pretty resilient, and I mean they tougher than what we think, especially when you start pushing them. Coastal's a family. The school really take care of our kids. We definitely gonna get them in front of scouts. Not only do we play the 4-year schools, we also go to Georgia in the fall in a JUCO jamboree in Carrollton, Georgia. So that's part of my recruiting process. You're gonna play in front of 25 or 30 scouts. You're gonna play 2 4-year schools before you even play a game before us.
I hope recruits know what they're going to get. If they're thinking about choosing Coastal, they're going to get a family. They're going to get a strength and conditioning program. They're going to get to be put in front of other schools. They're going to get developed. They're going to get pushed hard. I've watched you grow. It has been a blessing to see from high school all the way up to where you are now. I know it was your dream, and you was able to accomplish that.
Yes.
You didn't give up on your dream. You got to where you want to go. And I'm sure you have other dreams and aspirations. And I know for a fact you're going to get there. You're excited to get your girls back off Thanksgiving and get back started. I appreciate you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.